Johnny Bach, wow, his name just touches my heart.
Well, Johnny Bach was such an integral part of our coaching staff.
He had a carriage about him. He had a mental capacity for the history of the game.
He had energy, enthusiasm. He loved basketball.
I actually met him in 1972. He was one of the assistant coaches on the U.S. Olympic team. And then when I got the Bulls job, I needed some mentors to help me learn how to coach, how to do everything necessary to build a team.
Phil obviously gets all the credit for being one of the greatest coaches of all time. But then we had two other coaches, Tex Winter, and Johnny Bach had a long history in college and the NBA.
The funny story is people that didn't know the assistant coaches on the team thought that Johnny was Tex and Tex was Johnny because Johnny wore cowboy boots and he wore a bolo tie.
Phil wasn't the only voice all the time. Tex had the offense, Johnny had the defense.
Bulls defense back in those days when Horace and Michael and Scotty were, pressing and they were aggressive.
I think his defensive element, it set a tone for the team.
Johnny Bach, yes sir, the architect of the Doberman Defense here in Chicago.
He had that attitude of, just don't pressure the ball, take the ball, turn it around and score.
He was tough-minded. He wanted you to take defensively the challenge against your opponent.
He made it as sometimes painfully aware that we had to do our jobs and it wasn't going to be easy.
Grant to Jordan.
Oh, what trick! It was very encouraging of Horace Grant, who he spotted in a scouting video, and Johnny took him under his wing.
That was a big part of Johnny Bach's defense, is having some forwards like Horace Grant be able to trap and then be able to get back to your man and not miss a beat.
People don't understand of what coaching really is all about, that Johnny could reach Horace, maybe on a level that I couldn't.
One day, prior to practice, Johnny said, let me give you a little hint. Let me call in Horace and see what Horace has to say. So he calls in Horace. Well, Coach Jackson here needs the guy that he'd come in the locker room at halftime or timeout and say, you guys better get going. Horace, get yourself going. Does that agree with you, Horace? Yes, sir. I agree to that.
He had a whole different role in the way he connected with the players as opposed to being the head coach.
He didn't mess around in terms of words. He'd come at you directly.
We might be running some lines and a guy might miss a line. And Johnny goes, miss the line, let's do it again or whatever. And the player would look at him and say, well, Coach, he said, don't get mad at me. You're the one that missed the line, not me.
He didn't give you many breaks. If a player was over there sitting there and maybe complaining about being a little fatigued or something, Johnny wasn't going to hear it.
He was hard on guys. He held everybody accountable on the floor, but it was always in a caring way.
Johnny is a Navy guy, grew up in the military so important to him.
He wasn't afraid to talk about it. He referenced it often.
We would start the year, he would play the opening scene from A Few Good Men, and he would say, I want you to watch precision. We're not going to get beat because we're sloppy or undisciplined.
We took that mindset, being assassins, being killers. That's who we were. He was a big part of turning that mentality around.
For me, it was really neat to have a coach like that. Concepts that he brought in helped me as a player and helped me adjust to Chicago.
Johnny was able to integrate it, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up for your teammates? And that was a big part of who he was.
Assistant for 11 seasons with the Bulls. He was a defensive specialist. 50 years in coaching, Johnny Bach.
He's a legendary coach. It's not just the players. You have to recognize everybody who's involved. And defense was our calling card.
He was just such a good human being. I know he would be really proud to be part of this Ring of Honor class.